Welcome to CFC Fan TV. I'm delighted to be joined by the one and only Statman Dave. Dave, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries.
We're going to be talking to Dave today about the potential signing of Edin Dzeko. I'm not sure if this one's going to go through, but if it does happen, is this a good signing for Chelsea?
I'd say yeah. I think it's something that Chelsea lack in their squad is that backup guy that Conte trusts. I think that's the big thing. Batshuayi, I think he's a wonderful player. I don't know why he's not getting more game time than he is, but having someone like Edin Dzeko, that Premier League experience with Manchester City, was a really good option for them. You know, City had a lot of small forwards in that era, and Edin Dzeko would offer something different. So for me, for Chelsea, for Morata, for the squad, I think it's a good signing.
Do you think it will happen? Is this something that you can actually see happening? Does it work for Rome? Does it work for Dzeko? Or do you think this one's going to sort of fall at the final hurdle?
It's an interesting one because he is Roma's key guy. You know, he is the guy, the number 9. Of course, the game against Roma in the Champions League. Yeah. He was fantastic. You know, he scored 47 goals in 89 games in Serie A for Roma. And without him in their side, they're going to have to move their team on. But Di Francesco, their manager, obviously tactically was brilliant against Chelsea. The 4-5-1 against Chelsea was fantastic. But I just think if you take that key cog out, it just doesn't make sense for Roma to let him go without having someone that could instantly go in there and replace him.
Yeah, I see what you mean, actually. It's not best for Roma, works for us.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, though, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but just to play devil's advocate. If I were to say to you, Edin Dzeko is a player who wasn't good enough for City 5 years ago, this is a bad signing for Chelsea. Is there any mileage in that?
I think with Edin Dzeko, I don't think that he was bad for City. I thought he was very good for City. It was just that City were moving on. Pep Guardiola was coming in. They were looking for, more of a ball-playing philosophy than having like a target man to go long to. I think he was still very good in the Premier League. I think he's been awesome in Serie A. I still think he's a very good forward. Back in the days at Wolfsburg, he was one of the best strikers in world football. You don't lose that. That stays with you. And if Conte wants this experience, I think that's the key thing. It's the experience of now he's played in Germany, played in Serie A, back in the Premier League. He knows what it is. It's a physical league. He knows how to do it. Having two guys that you could maybe go long to as well. You think in the 3-5-2 that Conte's played, tinkered with a few times with the 3-4-3. You think about two big strikers. Chelsea are like 1 goal down. You throw 2 big guys on, obviously Morata's on, you throw Edin Dzeko on. You can just be raining those crosses into the box. And it's simple football in a way. What you might see as well, what I want to see is maybe Eden Hazard in a 3-man midfield. We know what Eden Hazard could do on the left wing. This season, I don't think he's been as good as last season. But maybe dropping him a little bit deeper, getting him on the ball a bit more, could be good for Chelsea to beat teams. Think of a 3-5-2 with Hazard and then Dzeko Morata. That's quite exciting. That's got a lot more firepower than you've had previously this season.
Yeah, for sure. And he's that sort of player, isn't he, Dzeko? He's the kind of player that can bring in the likes of Willian, the likes of Hazard, and he's quite a generous football player, isn't he? Others around him will benefit from him being.
Yeah, 100%. If you look at the stats, he's won 60% of his aerial duels in Serie A. His average is 3.5 wins per game. The thing with that as well is he's not just a target man. Technically, he's a wonderful player. So, like you're saying, you mentioned the Chelsea-Roma game. You think about how Edin Dzeko brought El Shaarawy, Perotti into play, Nangolan into play. Having a guy like that you can play off. Morata as well, for me, is more of a poacher than your traditional target man. He's a poacher, likes to stay on that left-hand side, likes to cut in. That's what he did a lot at Real Madrid. I think he suits playing with someone. I think he really suits with playing someone next to him like either Hazard behind him or a guy next to him like Edin Dzeko.
And do you think those two would complement each other?
Be a very good, both very physical as I mentioned, but technically both very good. The 1-2s, the interplay. You can see a lot of good stuff if Chelsea do push on. You're thinking Edin Dzeko could start the initial part of the move, being brought into play, get his head up turned, combined with a winger. Then Morata's on the end of it to finish it off.
Mate, you have. I was in favour of this move before this chat, but after this chat, fingers crossed it happens. Come on, Chelsea, pull it out of the bag, make sure this move happens. We do need Dzeko. Dave, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you subscribe to Dave. Dave, where do we find you?
Statman Dave, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check it out.
And the link is in the description to Dave's channel. Make sure you get over there. And if you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe now. On you, Blaze.